The Flash. After being blasted by a bolt of lightning and bathed in a mix of chemicals, Barry Allen was transformed into the Scarlet Speedster, the fastest man alive. Now he races through Central City, fighting crime, bending the laws of physics, and tapping into the mysterious Speed Force. Versus Quicksilver. Pietro Maximoff, better known as Quicksilver, was born a mutant with insane speed. After breaking away from the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants with his sister Wanda, he joined the ranks of Earth's mightiest heroes, the Avengers. I'm the Shinin, and I'm here to analyze their powers and strengths, to uncover who would win in a one-on-one fight. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for your support. According to his origin story, the Flash, aka Barry Allen, was the son of Nora Allen, an optimistic farm girl, and Henry Allen, a doctor living in Fallville, Iowa. After he and his twin brother Malcolm were born 2 weeks late during storm one night, both parents are falsely informed that the first son is stillborn by their mother's doctor. In truth, Malcolm is actually born healthy, but given to a family of crooks staying in a separate hospital room, the Thawns, whose child has died during birth. Despite the bond between his parents being cemented because of them, the lateness of their birth would eventually play an important role in Barry's bad habit of always being late. Barry grew up reading comics books about his favorite superhero, Jay Garrick, the original Flash, and acting out many of his adventures with most of his friends, including his childhood sweetheart, Daphne Dean. By age 11, his mother was killed, and his father was wrongly tried and convicted for the murder, later dying in prison as Barry watched him. However, the young Allen refused to believe that his father was guilty of the crime. His life ground to a halt as he dedicated himself to finding the real murderer, and more importantly, finding the motive behind the murder. Because of this, Allen studied forensic science and dedicated himself to solving not only his mother's case, but those of other people in his situation. After graduating, Allen found work with the Central City Police Department as a police scientist with a well-known habit for slowness and lateness. Working late in the lab one night, a rack of chemicals that he was working next to was struck by lightning, and Allen was doused in chemicals. Surprisingly unharmed, Allen cleaned up the mess and returned to work, but soon noticed that the world appeared to be moving much slower than normal. He soon realized that it was not the world that had slowed, but himself who had sped up. An avid fan of comic books, especially the adventures of the Jay Garrick Flash, Barry decided to follow in his hero's footsteps and fight crime. People often assume the Flash is just a fast guy, that everything about him comes down to raw velocity, but that's not the full picture. The Flash taps into a mysterious, cosmic energy called the Speed Force, and it grants him far more than just speed. In fact, many of his powers, some downright absurd, come from this source. Now I'm walking you through some of the most epic, ridiculous, and one-off powers we've seen from speedsters over the years. Let's kick things off with a fan favorite, the Infinite Mass Punch. The idea is simple. If the Flash moves fast enough, his mass, relatively speaking, approaches infinity. When he channels that into a single punch, it hits with the force of a white dwarf star. One of the coolest examples of this was during a fight with Zoom. Not the one you're thinking of, but a white Martian named Zoom. In the fight, Flash ran so fast he appeared as a beam of light. He said he could have hit Zoom 1,000 times with infinite mass punches, but one was enough. He hurled Zoom into orbit, then back down, creating a massive crater. Next up, his vibration powers, or what some now call quantum tunneling. Flash can vibrate his molecules so fast that he phases through solid matter. Even crazier, he can bring other objects or people through with him. One jaw-dropping example happened in the New 52, when Flash phased an entire crashing airplane through a bridge to give it a safe water landing. Yeah, he vibrated the entire plane and everyone on board right through a bridge, just slightly overpowered. Next up is time travel, Originally, Flash could only time travel using the cosmic treadmill, a device that gave him control over when and where he arrived. Without it, he risked getting lost in the time stream. But in later stories, he doesn't need it at all. He just runs fast enough to go wherever or whenever he wants. One notable use? He traveled back to save his mother, causing the Flashpoint paradox, a single change that rewrote the entire timeline. That power alone makes him one of the most dangerous characters in DC. Oh, and he doesn't just travel through time, he hops dimensions. Every universe has a different speed force frequency, and Flash can tune in and travel between realities. One time, he even ended up in the Marvel Universe under the name Buried Alien. And temporal manipulation. In the New 52, Barry actually altered the flow of time to counter the Reverse Flash, who was slowing down time around himself. Barry sped it up and overpowered him. This ability should make him unbeatable, but for some reason, we rarely see it again. The list goes on. Honestly, it's hard to say where his limits are, if any. Magneto, master of magnetism and mutant revolution, once lived a quiet life in a small Ukrainian village, far from the chaos that would later define his legacy. In those early days, he was just a man, a peasant, but secrets festered beneath the surface. His wife, gripped by fear of what their children's powers might become, and perhaps of what their father already was, concealed her pregnancy. After giving birth to twins, she secretly sent them away to live with a roaming Romani family, hoping they'd have a better chance at a normal life. But normal? That was never in the cards. Years later, a violent attack on the gypsy camp forced the siblings to flee into the wilderness, alone and afraid. It was then that they caught the attention of none other than Charles Xavier, who offered them a place among his X-Men. But the twins, Pietro and Wanda, weren't interested. Not yet. Instead, fate intervened. While wandering near a village, they saw a young girl trapped beneath a falling boulder. Without thinking, Wanda used her mysterious hex powers to save her. But instead of praise, the villagers cried witchcraft. Fueled by ignorance and fear, they turned on her, dragging her to the stake. As the flames threatened to rise, her brother Pietro, possessing lightning-fast speed, rushed to her defense. But even the two of them couldn't stand alone for long. And then, like a force of nature, he appeared. Magneto, unbeknownst to them, their biological father, arrived just in time. He saved them from the mob, recognizing the truth. These were his children. Grateful and perhaps curious, the twins embraced their powers, took on their mutant identities, and joined their father's cause. But Magneto's vision darkened. His megalomania and extremist ideals pushed the twins away, and they eventually defected, choosing their own path. Pietro Maximoff, now known as Quicksilver, became known for his cocky demeanor, incredible speed, and unwavering devotion to his sister Wanda. Together, they've appeared across multiple forms of media, including various X-Men animated series. Now, obviously, Quicksilver is most known for his speed. I mean, it's literally in his name. But let's actually start with his strength, because while his speed is his most prominent power, he's also significantly stronger than a normal human. As a mutant with enhanced physiology, his strength is a factor that often goes overlooked. Take, for example, the time he hit Black Panther so hard and fast, he sent him flying. That's no small feat. Black Panther is one of the best fighters in the Marvel Universe. He may not have super speed, but he's incredibly agile, and his strength is enhanced by the heart-shaped herb. So for Quicksilver to catch him off guard and knock him back with a single hit is seriously impressive. He's also used that same combination of speed and strength to knock out Luke Cage, Ms. Marvel, Toad, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Psylocke, and more, all with a single blitz. He's even sent his father Magneto, one of the most feared mutants in the Marvel Universe, flying with a double-fisted punch. And don't forget the time he opened a Sentinel's hand to save a woman it was carrying. Using both strength and speed, he pried it open and got her to safety. That's not something just anyone could do. Now let's get into what makes Quicksilver truly terrifying. His speed. One of the most famous examples? He disarmed a bomb between the words blow and up. Someone yelled, "It's about to blow." And before up even left their lips, the bomb was disarmed. Or when he disarmed 15 armed people between the words 4 and 3 during a countdown. He's so fast he can ignite the ground beneath him just by running. It might not make perfect sense, but it's just cool. He can outrun Black Bolt's voice and explosions. He can also run across water, maintain speeds over 700 miles per hour for extended periods, and when things get serious, he cranks it up to outrun a radio wave. That's right. Radio waves are a form of electromagnetic radiation, just like light, so they travel at the same speed. That means Quicksilver can move at over 670 million miles per hour. And in a fight with Gorgon, Quicksilver claimed he could deliver 1,000 punches in the time it takes someone to throw one. Let that sink in. Against a normal person, he'd turn them to goo in seconds. And that's how powerful Quicksilver is. All right, let's dive into this. The Flash versus Quicksilver. They're both iconic superpowered characters from different universes, and each brings something unique to the fight. Now, I'll analyze their powers, feats, and versatility to uncover who would win in a one-on-one fight. 1. Raw speed. Quicksilver has feats suggesting he can theoretically outrun radio waves, speed of light, but this is highly inconsistent and often presented for shock value rather than consistency. But the Flash, consistently portrayed as faster than light multiple times over, has outrun death, entropy, and the collapse of reality itself. He's raced instantaneous teleportation and won. Winner. Flash, because he can outrun death, entropy, and the collapse of reality itself. 2. Versatility. Quicksilver, he's fast and strong. He can weaponize that speed with devastating blitz attacks. But beyond that, he doesn't have much more. No time travel, no dimension hopping, no reality manipulation. He's a pure physical combatant. While the Flash has list of powers is cosmic in scale, phasing through objects, time travel and timeline rewriting, multiverse travel, speed stealing, can slow others down by stealing their speed, intellect acceleration, thinking at the speed of light or faster, creating constructs, clones, and even controlling the speed force, reversing entropy, reviving the dead, trapping beings outside of time. Winner. Flash, overwhelmingly. Lastly, combat feats. Quicksilver blitzed top-tier fighters, took down several enhanced individuals with one-shot speed strikes, while Flash taken down entire armies in milliseconds. He's fought against characters like Zoom, Reverse Flash, Darkseid, and even Superman. In some comics, he's taken on the entire Justice League solo, using time manipulation and phasing. Winner. Flash. While Quicksilver is incredibly powerful in the Marvel Universe, arguably one of the fastest and most dangerous mutants on Earth, he's a street-to-city level speedster with some great feats and clever uses of speed and strength. The Flash, especially Barry Allen or Wally West, is in an entirely different league, tapping into a fundamental cosmic force that makes him a multiversal level threat. The Speed Force gives him powers that go beyond speed, into the realm of time, space, matter, and even reality itself.